Happy 23rd day of Pride!
Hey everybody. Today we're going to bring you one of the daily devotionals from Beloved's upcoming book, Sex with God. So, you're on.
We are. Well, we've been talking about, we mentioned yesterday that this week we're going to be talking a bit about the lesser known letters of the acronym LGBTQIA, and we're starting with our own identities. So today we're reading about asexuality, which is my sexual orientation. I figured out after many years of not realizing it, and so tomorrow we're going to talk more about that, and today we're going to start with this reading about asexuality, which will kind of set the groundwork and lay a foundation for what we'll discuss tomorrow. So here we go. Human sexual attraction and desire are vast and shifting things, with no one person's reality being a model for perfection. God burns with desire for all humanity, and each of us reflects that hunger in varying ways, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and even intellectually. When it comes to sexual desire, some of us have very high sex drives and are excited by people of the opposite sex. Some have a lower drive and are attracted to people of the same sex. Some of us experience little or no sexual demands from our bodies and aren't sexually excited by people of any gender. Many people exist in varying positions in the middle of these spectrums, even those with the lowest sex drives. Asexuality is not one thing. Some asexuals occasionally feel desire, others never do. Some feel desire only when they are intellectually and emotionally connected to a person. Any variation of this is normal. Many asexual people have satisfying sex lives. Consider this anonymous quote. And would you read that, honey?
I sure will. For asexuals, sex is like a donut. When we see a donut, we don't have the urge to eat the donut. This does not necessarily mean we hate the donut or think the donut is disgusting. Many of us even like donuts. But we never have any urge to walk over there and eat it. Demisexuals will have the urge to eat the donut only if it is their absolute favorite kind of donut in the whole world. And gray sexuals sometimes will have the urge to get the donut and sometimes not. Celibates are on a diet.
Is that a great summary?
It's a good quote.
Good quote. As with the donut analogy, you can enjoy eating a donut even if your body doesn't scream, "Yes, please," while thinking about it ahead of time. Asexual people can be excellent, attentive lovers, putting their whole hearts, minds, and bodies into the experience of giving and receiving. They can also abstain completely from sexual activity and lead perfectly healthy, fulfilling lives. It's possible that you or your partner may not know initially that one of you is asexual. It can be tricky to navigate this new landscape. An asexual person's partner may feel rejected. They might even feel like they've been deceived. They may experience a sense of loss for what they'd assumed your sexual relationship was going to be, and may question their own desirability. To avoid this problem, you have to understand who you are, here and now, and communicate openly. If you know you're asexual, it's important to tell your partner early on so they can factor it into their idea of a future together. Be clear about what degree of sexual activity you're comfortable engaging in. And if you don't realize it until your relationship has traveled down the road a few years and your desires are mismatched, the need for communication is even more important. Or equally important. I said equally, but I'm wondering if it's actually more important. Sex doesn't make a person whole, and a lack of sex drive doesn't make you broken. It simply makes you, you. The key is to not be afraid to consider how you personally tick, and to communicate with your partner, if you have one, about how they tick. If you love each other, you can build a system which works. Did you want to say anything before I comment more? Or you want me to jump in?
Go ahead and jump in, sweetheart.
Yeah, so we've been pondering asexuality a lot in discussions about our own relationship. We We talk all the time. We talk constantly. We're blessed that we love talking and communicating with each other, understanding each other better, sort of exploring our pasts together and trying to heal the damage that sex has caused in our lives in different ways, which it causes problems in, I'm sure, a lot of your lives too. Mm-hmm. It's a very powerful and can be a very disruptive force. So we've been talking about it a lot, and I'm not going to say too much today about my own understanding of my form of asexuality, because there are so many variants and different ways that people just are who they are. So tomorrow we're going to talk more about that and have a chance for questions. If you guys want to ask questions, we'll break the form a little bit and answer questions if you want to pop them in there about what asexuality is.
Yeah, I'll pop up a graphic later, and you can either post your questions under there or send them to us privately with a person, in a PM or something.
You can even probably post them. I'm just looking at them.
I'm
pointing at the screen here because I'm seeing some stuff come up. So you can probably do it that way too.
Yeah, I think it's really important to talk about asexuality because you don't see a lot about it, and I commend you. I think you're brave for coming out and speaking who you are into the world. I think that helps other people be able to speak who they are, to know there is nothing wrong with them. This is who they are. And that's a really good thing. So we really want to have a discussion with you tomorrow where you can ask questions of Suzanne. You can even ask questions of me as coming from the spouse of someone who is asexual. And we'll be as open as we always are. And I think we feel okay about answering just about anything.
Yeah. If we're not, we'll draw the line and say, hey, we're not going to answer. And that's okay too. We won't be offended. So that is it for now. Paul, I'm seeing your comments, and I hope that you'll be able to tune in tomorrow. We would love to hear, if you have any comments about your experience that you want to share, that we could kind of pass on.
I just want to share one more thing. As being the social media strategist and formatting most of the material that goes on Where True Love Is, and being 8 hours a day on social media, I see a lot of negativity towards asexual people, and it's wrong. It has to stop. I mean, we're all this big family, and who you are is who you are. God made us all unique and made us interesting in that way, and there is nothing wrong with you. It's
you are
just
not broken.
Who you are. You are not broken. You are who you were created to be. And we want everyone to blossom and flourish. I mean, one of the things I tell my beloved about her asexuality is I want you to be the best, most fulfilled, most blossomed asexual you can be. Just be you and be proud of who you are. So join us tomorrow and let's answer some questions and talk more about it. And hope there's some healing and some
increased understanding, because there's a lot of confusion.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we look forward to it.
All
and
right.
You guys take care. Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
See ya.
See you tomorrow.